Hey everyone, welcome back to Beekeeping with Natalie, or welcome to if you're new. Today's video is a video we have done before, but we always like to kind of update again just after a year or so, and I think it's been a year since we last posted that video. So this is just on comb honey and how we do our comb supers. So all of our frames are shallows. It's just easier that way because the cutter we have is from Pierce, and it's the perfect size for a shallow. You can use mediums, but we just like to use the shallows and it just works better that way. So I'm gonna do kind of a step-by-step on how we do it. There's a bunch of different ways you can, and this is just a little bit different, but Gus Mitchell actually had some videos on it and we learned most of this from him, and this is pretty much the same method that he does. And these are the frames. The actual shallow boxes are years old from somewhere we picked up for free a long time ago. I don't know, we just kind of threw them together. But these frames are brand new and we haven't really reused any yet. We just haven't got around to cleaning them and actually using them for the next year. We've just been reusing, or we've just been getting new ones. But these are from Skipper Luttrell, and he makes them. And basically, they're just a little bit different. Like this top bar is just a little bit thinner, so it gives us a little bit extra space to have, maybe if they don't draw the comb out quite right on the top or the bottom, we have a little bit more space to pick from where we want to cut the comb out of, and then it's just got that dent up top here. It's not like a normal frame where it has it all around to where you can just pop the foundation in and out. It's just the top bar here that has that seam. And I think we've got two supers here. I won't do all of them on camera, but I'll try to get them done today. And then we have just some Dadant wax foundation. So this is just from Dadant, and you can get 5 strips out of this. So if you want to put this just on a hive like this, it's not going to fit in these shallows because this is a medium frame, so you'd have to cut it anyways. But you can just put this in there and put it on the hive. But we like to make it go a little bit further if we can, so we just use this measuring, what is this called?
Oh no, it's just 1 inch.
Yes, it's a 1 inch, and we'll lay it down and then cut it, and you can get about 5 strips out of it. So that doubles it. Not even doubles. I don't know what that does. Doubles it a lot is what I mean. But anyway, I don't know, I'm homeschooled. We used to do just 3 strips, and then we got to the point where we're like, let's just go to 5, and we get a lot more out of it that way. So we just do 5. I think the last strip is a little bit smaller, but it does give them a little bit more work because they're really starting from nothing, unlike putting this on there because they have a full foundation to start from. But I'm not even going to say what I just saw outside the window. It was my dad, that's why I'm laughing. But anyways, okay, let's actually get started. So these aren't done yet. These are just popped in here, and they have to be sealed. So you can just slide it into that crevice, and then you have to seal it some way. So we just use wax for it. So I'll just come back here. This is the honey house, and it's not finished, but we treat it like it is because there's so much stuff in here. But it just shows that there's really a lot of beekeeping equipment that needs to be stored inside. I mean, we have just a bunch of stuff above us too, of extractors and uncapping and all that stuff. We will actually be pulling honey pretty soon here, I think, just because we need it, and it's about that season too. The clover is really starting up, and it was weird. It was really fast, and it was doing really well, and we had this crazy honey flow all of a sudden. So we threw all these supers on, and they filled it up the first day, and then all of a sudden we had a weird little dearth that just kind of happened. And the reason I really knew about that is after a couple of years of beekeeping, you start to just notice the change in the way they just interact towards you and everything else. The bees just act differently in a dearth, and they're usually a little bit more touchy, and they'll keep tapping you and just bothering you, and they're all over the place. Especially if you have beekeeping equipment around the house or something, they'll be all around you and just kind of looking for stuff. But if there's a honey flow on, usually it's hard to find them. They're out doing their business, they're distracted, they don't care what you're doing. But also another thing is we had some just frames of pollen that we had pulled from splits, and they were just sitting out in the yard, and they were robbing it like crazy, really fast. So anyway, that's another way we'll know if they're kind of in a dearth and there's just nothing out there really. I don't remember the blackberries doing really good this year either. I didn't see them on them too much, and they usually are. So it's right after black locust usually. So I don't know, something was weird there. Maybe the blackberries didn't do good or something, but the clover's starting up again, and they seem to be doing better, and like there's actually a flow on. So anyway, I think it's really the weather. We've had weird weather. It's been rainy and kind of cloudy, but the temps are going back up and the sun is out. I think we're supposed to get rain this weekend, but oh, what day is it?
June 11th.
June 11th. A lot of people like to know what date we film these. I try to post them as soon as I can, but sometimes that just doesn't happen. Okay, back to the video.
Technical challenges.
Yeah, just like today. But anyways, we're not tech smart at all. Everybody thinks I am because I'm a teenager, but I'm not. Okay, so we have this crock pot here that we got from a thrift store a long time ago because it was just going to be used for wax pretty much, or just random stuff.
Actually, that one was a wedding gift.
Was it actually?
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you get married to a beekeeper, I guess. But we have one somewhere we got from a thrift store. Okay, not this one. Dang, that sucks. Well, anyways, you can just go to the thrift store and buy like a crock pot and use it for this. But anyways, so we melted a good bit of wax here, and we just get our wax from just cappings that I throw on the ground. My mom will go back and pick up and put it in a bucket. I'm getting better at it. Not really, but we just put it into like buckets or somewhere, and then eventually we'll go through and we'll melt it down and then clean it all up and everything. So that's what this is. So you can really just use anything too, because this is just going to go straight back onto the hive. But then we have this spoon here. You can use just like a normal shaped spoon, but it's easier if you bend it weird like this. So that's what we have it.
That was also one of my kitchen spoons.
Probably a wedding gift. I didn't know that. Well, anyways, this one's tiny. So yeah, we just bent them this way so it's a little bit easier. It's not going to like drip back up on you. I think that was something Gus had mentioned in his video also. So then all we do is I'm going to take some wax. I'm going to start at the top. I'll tilt my frame a little bit and it'll just melt all the way down. Sometimes you have to do like 2 scoops, but it'll just go all the way down and it's going to seal it. So you'll be able to kind of see it. Hopefully, I know you can see it from the back side too there. So I'll just get some wax, tilt it up, and then it just spills down. And then it goes all the way down. So just about 1 scoop got that whole side. You can just do one side. We were just talking about it. I've always done both, I think. Maybe I'll go back and look at the video. But apparently my dad's only been doing one, so maybe that's why they're not drawing them out. But I'm going to go ahead and do the other side just to be safe. But I mean, almost immediately, like it dries, wax dries super fast, especially when it's a thin coat like that. Whew, that's hot. Oh well. Yeah, that's hot. Okay, anyways, so then it's sealed just like that, and it's not gonna move. It is delicate, you have to be careful not to like shake it around too much, or like whenever we're putting these on, we try to be careful with them. But I'll do another one, or I could do a couple actually. So we will put these on probably as soon as they're done, and we're gonna kind of decide. Picking the hive to put it on will be a little bit, we'll actually pay attention to it, because we have some hives that we put like they all have at least some type of foundation on them. Those supers that they have at least 2 frames of foundation in them, just so we can keep them building wax all year, or every year at least for us. And it also helps us see which ones are building out the comb fast. If they're in a honey flow, they usually should anyways, but some of them just won't, and they'll just go to that drawn stuff and they really won't touch the foundation. But if they are and they're really drawing it out, we'll know that they're ready to draw comb, they want to, and we'll put these on there, because I mean, they're really starting from nothing here. They have a starter strip, but it's really not that much. So we'll pay attention to that. We'll probably put these on here soon. We always try to do a little bit of comb if we can. That is so hot.
Is there a way to do it so it doesn't end up
Yeah,
on
I'm
your
just
hand?
stupid. I try to keep it as straight as I can, but they'll fix it too. I kind of got that everywhere, so I might just need to do one side actually. No, I'll just do both. After a while of doing it too, you get better at it, and it gets a lot easier. It's kind of fun. It's not
Unless you burn
hard.
your hand.
Yeah, unless you burn yourself. But even that's fun to peel off, so it's okay. But so then it's just sealed like that and it goes right in. I have some videos of putting these actually on the hive. I don't know when that was. That might have been last year. But like I said, we always try to do a little bit of comb. It sells really well. There was one year, I don't remember when that was. It was a couple years ago that comb honey was super popular. And I remember we had done an event and it had sold really well. And you can sell it for a good price too. Now, I know some people aren't in it for the money and they don't want to sell their honey too expensive, but like for us, it's a business and we're doing it full time and you can sell this for a good price. So we'll try to if we can, but it does tend to sell well at like markets and stuff if they can see it in person. So anyway, we've been trying to do it a little bit more, but because of the way we've changed the method we do it, it's honestly kind of fun now, and I enjoy doing it, and cutting the comb is fun too. So I don't think we did a whole lot last year. The bees just weren't really drawing it out last year, so we didn't do a whole lot, but we still got a few. But pulling it and storing it is about the same. We'll pull it the same way we pull all of our other honey, but once we store it, it usually goes into the freezer. And it'll stay in the freezer until we need it, unless we end up cutting it. But like do we still have some?
Well, we have just a tiny bit left.
We have just a little bit left that's just in the freezer. Like we'll just keep the whole super in there, which my mom loves. We had to buy a new freezer. And we just store it in there until we pretty much need it. So it works out really well if we can have it. And that's pretty much what we'll do.
You can also cut it, put it in the container.
Yeah, and then put it in the freezer, which is, I think that probably gives you more space because you're not putting a whole box in there. But if we pull it, it usually goes straight into the freezer if it's ready to go. So, but comb honey is just a lot harder because it's really about the look. Normal honey like that we're just going to put into a bottle. The frame, it doesn't matter what the frame looks like, whether it's capped or not. If it tests right and it looks good, we'll put it into a bottle. But comb honey is a different story just because people buy it for the looks. A lot of charcuterie businesses will buy it, and that's a really good thing to get into, but they really are getting it for the look of it, and they want that fresh comb that has that nice capping on it too. Like we won't pull or cut comb honey if it's not capped. So now I do have a little bit of a debate on that I've talked about multiple times. If our honey tests right, if it's testing between 16 to 18, then we'll go ahead and pull it whether it's capped or not. But comb honey, we like to make sure it is capped, and it's just hard to get them to do that because sometimes they won't even cap it. Like it just depends on the bees and the year. So okay, I think that's all I had to say, and we're gonna go put these on. We'll do probably an update video, I'm sure, on how they're doing. Is that all I had to mention? Mm-hmm. All of our containers that we put them in are from Blue Sky Bee Supply, I think. Mm-hmm. And we've always used those. They work really well. I think that's all. So yeah, thanks for watching today's video. Follow along for more bee adventures and be here next time on Beekeeping with Natalie.